Part 1. What really happens to a man's body when he goes too long without sex? Psychology and human biology show that extended sexual inactivity can affect a man's penis not just mentally, but physically as well. Let's break it down step by step. 1. Temporary shrinkage, when a man goes a long time without sexual arousal or erections. Reduced blood circulation can make the penis appear slightly smaller. This isn't permanent damage, but similar to how unused muscles weaken. Penile tissue can lose some elasticity without regular stimulation. 2. Weaker erections, and erection depends on healthy blood flow. If arousal is infrequent, the vessels responsible for this process may become less responsive. Over time, erections may feel softer, slower to appear, or inconsistent, impacting both performance and confidence. 3. Higher risk of erectile dysfunction, irregular sexual activity, even masturbation keeps penile nerves and tissues active. Long stretches of abstinence combined with health issues like diabetes, obesity, or high blood pressure may increase the risk of developing ED later in life. Point 4. Lower testosterone levels. Sexual activity naturally gives a small boost to testosterone production. Without it, levels can dip. This drop doesn't just affect sex drive. It can also influence energy, mood, muscle strength, and overall vitality. 5. Mental and emotional effects. Sex isn't only about pleasure. It plays a huge role in stress, relief, bonding, and self-esteem. Lack of intimacy, especially when unwanted, can lead to frustration, loneliness, or even depression. Some men may even question their desirability or masculinity. 6. Why erections matter for health. Erections themselves are like a workout for the penis. They help deliver oxygen to penile tissue, keeping it healthy. In fact, nighttime erections, nocturnal tumescence, are nature's way of maintaining this function. The bottom line going, without sex won't permanently damage a man's penis, but it can contribute to mild shrinkage. Weaker erections, lower testosterone, and emotional strain. Staying sexually active, whether with a partner or through self-stimulation, is one of the best ways to support long-term sexual health and overall well-being. Part 2 now. Let's dive deeper, because the truth about what happens to a man's body without sex goes far beyond what most men realize. The hidden shrinkage effect. Imagine a muscle that's never trained. Over time, it weakens. The same is true for the penis. Without stimulation, the tissues don't get enough oxygen-rich blood, which leads to slight atrophy. Doctors have compared this to how astronauts lose muscle mass in zero gravity when their muscles aren't being challenged. But here's the twist. This shrinkage is usually reversible. Once regular erections return, blood flow improves, and size and elasticity can bounce back. Yet the question is, what happens if a man ignores this for years? The consequences may not be so easy to undo. Erection quality. Your silent warning sign. Erections are more than just a physical reaction. They're an indicator of vascular health. When men notice weaker or inconsistent erections after long abstinence, it's often a red flag. It signals that blood vessels are losing efficiency. And here's the deeper truth. Weak erections don't just affect the bedroom. They may also point to cardiovascular problems, because the same arteries that supply blood to the penis are also linked to heart health. So a weak erection is sometimes the body whispering something deeper is wrong. Ignore it long enough, and the whisper can turn into a scream. Erectile dysfunction and the risk factor spiral prolonged. Abstinence by itself isn't the sole cause of ED, but combined with health problems like diabetes, obesity, or high blood pressure, it creates the perfect storm. Think about it. When the penile nerves aren't regularly stimulated, they grow less responsive. Add unhealthy lifestyle choices, and suddenly ED becomes a bigger threat than most men want to admit. But here's the shocking parts. Studies show that men who maintain sexual activity, whether with a partner or solo, actually preserve better erectile function well into old age. In other words, consistent intimacy works like preventive medicine. Testosterone, the masculinity hormone at stake when men stop engaging in sexual activity. Testosterone levels often dip. And testosterone isn't just about sex drive, it's about vitality, strength, and mental sharpness. Low testosterone can lead to fatigue, weight gain, mood swings, and even depression. A man may think he's just losing energy with age, but in reality, his lack of sexual engagement may be silently lowering his hormone levels, robbing him of his drive in all areas of life. The mental game. Why abstinence affects the mind. Here's where psychology takes the front seat. Sex is deeply connected to a man's self-image and emotional health. When intimacy disappears, some men start questioning their worth, desirability, or even masculinity. Loneliness creeps in. Stress builds up. For some, it even leads to depression. And the dangerous part? Many men suffer in silence, afraid to talk about it. Sexual activity, even if it's solo, acts as a natural stress reliever. It boosts mood, releases endorphins, and provides a sense of release. Without it, emotional tension piles up like pressure inside a closed bottle. Eventually, it explodes. Erections are workouts nature's design. Most men don't realize this. Every erection is like a small workout session for the penis. It pushes oxygenated blood into the tissue, keeping it healthy and alive. That's why morning wood and nocturnal erections are so important. They're nature's way of maintaining the organ's strength. Skip enough of these workouts, and just like skipping the gym, weakness follows. The bottom line, but not the end of the story. So here's the truth. Lack of sex won't destroy a man's penis, but it can shrink it slightly, weaken its function, lower testosterone, and even take a toll on mental health. The solution? Stay sexually active. With a partner or solo, your body doesn't care. What it cares about is stimulation, oxygenation, and healthy blood flow. But here's the real question most men never ask.